Cheers, people. Welcome back to Sip and Chat. If this is your first time joining, we appreciate you for being here. Sip and Chat, we discuss all things travel and sip on something great. So grab yourself something to drink and let's chat. So today I have my cousin-in-law Brittany here with me, and she has made us some amazing hot chocolate. So tell us what's in it.
It's Nestle's hot chocolate and some crushed up Oreos and some Baileys.
And y'all, I have never had this, so we're gonna give it a shot. Let's try it out. Oh, and I love my mug, y'all. Y'all see this? I got this from a wedding that I went to.
It was a party favor, like a wedding gift to
the people who was at the
That's
at
so
the
good.
wedding.
So good.
Y'all, this is good. This is so good, y'all. I'm gonna put the ingredients below. It's real simple, y'all just heard her. But I'm gonna definitely drop the ingredients below. So,
I need to customize it.
man, and I never had Baileys before, and I can't even like taste it for real. It's just like a little bit,
real
but
belly.
yeah,
Real belly.
I feel like it is.
It's real bad.
Because it's gonna sneak up because I can't really taste it. So
Yes.
but that's good. All right, y'all. So today's topic is major airlines versus budget airlines. Is there really a difference between the two? And so me and Brittany was talking off camera about it, and I was like, I think this would be a good topic for Sip and Chat. So here we are today to discuss it on cam. So I'm gonna take it to you. Do you really think there is a difference between major airlines and budget airlines?
I am unaware of what the difference could be between
Okay.
budget airlines and major airlines.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm more so like, they all take you there. Like, as long as I get there safe, I'm okay with how I get there, what I fly on.
Mm-hmm.
So
For you, it's like,
like,
long as you get there.
as long as I get there safely, though.
Safe, of course,
Safely.
always safely.
I've been on like 2 flights, and my husband fell asleep, and he my rock, and he been on a bunch of flights.
Yes.
I'm like, how you gonna leave me? And then turbulence, it would be the worst turbulence for the first flight. So I was super nervous. I was like, we're not gonna make it. What's gonna happen? Like, I was being so negative. So as long as I get there safely,
Yes.
I'm fine.
Okay. Now, granted, I have flown often, obviously, and I have flown both sides of the house. I've flown major, I've flown budget, and I will say, for me, y'all, just my own 2 cents, I drastically think there is a difference between them. Don't get me wrong, they do all get you there safely. All of the flights I have been on have been fantastic. I've landed and we're good, right? But the difference really comes in with just like small things. I ain't even gonna say small things. Let's take that back. I would say the difference really comes in that particular aircraft, right? So for a major airline, I might spend $200 for a round trip flight. And then you got a budget airline where I spent $20 for a flight, right?
See, that's my kind of trip. Okay.
Exactly. And so it's like, do you take the $200 or do you take the $20? I'm gonna put some brands out here. So Spirit, for example, y'all know I use them to do my day trips because it keeps me at a good budget. And so if I take Spirit, I know the only thing I'm going with is the book bag on my back, because I'm not paying for luggage, I'm not paying for a carry-on item or anything like that, because their luggage fees are so high.
So that's what offset the ticket prices, probably.
So you start at $20, but you pay $70 for your bag to fly. The bag is more expensive than
the ticket was, right.
Oh, if I could, I'd just buy my daggone bag and see for $20.
Right.
So it'd be stuff like that you have to think about. Like the first time I flown Spirit was last year, and that's when I really seen like they have a magnificent business plan. But as a passenger, I'm like, oh, this is a little hefty for me. $20 for a seat. If you want extra leg room, you gotta pay for that. If you want to
water,
yes, yes. If you want a bottle of water, y'all, you gotta pay for that.
Charges at the Spirit.
You have to pay for the water. You want some pop. You want a snack. You have to pay for all of that. And to me, that's like, you don't want to give me no water?
Seriously?
Like, that's an upcharge for them. But when I give Delta my $200, I know
water,
that I'm going to get the water, the snacks. I'm going to have a TV on my flight that I can watch for free. I got an outlet to plug up for my phones and stuff like that. So you get that stuff when you get them $200. Yeah. I can give Spirit $200 additional and still not get the customer service experience that I'm getting at Delta. And just, for me at this point, like basic stuff, right?
It's the comfortability also.
Yeah, if I gotta pay $70 just for my bag to fly, I ain't even got on the plane yet to give you another $5 for a bottle of water or something.
Right.
So it's like,
that's why I flew Spirit in the first place, because I knew this ticket was cheaper. Yes. $900 up to $600 to go to Texas.
Go to the same place I was already going on a $20 ticket. So for me, that is what that major difference is the upcharging of everything. So I explained this once before in another video, just saying like, watch your ticket prices when you fly budget, because at the end of the day, you might have started at $20, but by the time you catch your flight, land, you done spent an additional $200, and you be like, dang, I thought this flight was only gonna be $30. I spent $200 on Delta, and I done flew in comfort. Yep. Because the seats are different. Yep. Oh, them seats on Spirit is so thin.
Thin?
Yes, like the cushion.
Oh.
The cushion is so thin. So you'll be sitting there, the seats don't recline. So you sitting there like this the whole time, like trying to get comfort because of the seats. So when I'm on Delta, I might do a little recline.
Yeah, I get you looking at it.
And just, be chill. Yeah. So it's like small things like that for me that are differences that I would say you wouldn't necessarily notice if you've only flown one airline or one major versus a budget airline.
Yeah, right.
And that's just like the biggest difference for me. Now, one company that is considered a budget airline that I don't necessarily put them in budget.
It's like the mid-level maybe.
Yeah, I feel like it should be major, then Southwest, because that's the company I'm talking about, and then budget airline. Because technically on their like site and stuff, they say that they're budget airlines, but you get 2 free bags when you fly on Southwest. You do get free drinks.
See?
You get you a free cup of water, or you can get you some pop on Southwest. And like the seats are comfortable. For me, they probably have the best crew members, from the gate agents to the flight attendants to your pilots. Like, I've never been on a Southwest flight where people are like annoyed. Everybody wants to make sure that you're good. Yeah. Do you need anything? Yeah. Their whole motto is like to almost make you have fun and enjoy the flight. And like you said, you was a little bit nervous. I feel like if you was on the Southwest flight, I feel like if they would have seen that, they would have tried to do something to make you more comfortable, because that's just
don't get that with the Spirit.
That's just what they do. Now, I'm not saying that these other companies don't have great customer service or great crew members and stuff like that. But it's just the overall business, like their presentation on whether that's on social media or just from interacting with them. I know that Southwest is all about that fun energy, upbeat energy. And it's real.
That helps. That helps though. Yes. For first time flyers, not often travelers that fly. It's the comfortability. It's the relatability. Like, I've been there before. I know how you feel. We get these type of people all the time that don't go to where often, or even people that just have a fear of flying, period, and don't have I have to fly back and forth for work, or I have to do this. My mom's here, my grandma here. Yeah, I have to fly. So something I never paid attention to. Of course, they get you there, but
it's an experience.
Yeah.
It's an experience of how you get there. For me. Yes, and that's even, speaking of experiences, that's even before you get onto an aircraft, right? Like, I'm gonna just keep using Delta and Spirit because we've already discussed them, and I love flying Delta, especially on like my international flights, and then I like to fly Spirit for my day trips.
Well,
So
right.
we're gonna keep them two going here. But when you enter into the airport and stuff like that, for me, that's when the experience starts. And once I get through TSA and I'm headed to my gate, I want to be able to sit at my gate comfortably and feel like I have everything. When I go to Delta's concourse, I know that I'm gonna have more than likely outlets in my chairs or like, you know, at the seat, and I'm gonna have a decent amount of food options to pick from. They got the TVs on their gates to tell you like which flight is going in and out. Like all of that is there and it's just comfortable. However, sometimes when I fly on Spirit, the concourse itself is not that lavish. So I might not have outlets in my seat.
I don't even think that's lavish. I need a charger. We just talked about people working, traveling for work, and you need a computer charger. You need a phone charger.
Yeah, you need the outlet space, and don't get me wrong, they have outlets in the area, but sometimes you either have to go searching for them, or they have like these towers where it has a few different outlets, and you see everybody standing up to them, and so it's almost like first come first serve for sure.
Right.
But you be like, oh man, where is the outlet? But at Delta, I really believe that the comfortability of the concourse itself, having the outlets there, so as soon as you sit down, you know you're good. And it's just that level of comfort, even on the fact that I can find good food options. Sometimes when I'm in the Spirit concourse, I might not have the best food options. I literally might have one or two options in like a convenience store. So like some of those little markets or the Hudsons and stuff that sell papers and waters and stuff like that. And you just don't have the same options, which is very unfortunate. I don't know if it's just because that part of the airport has not upgraded or because the airline in that concourse has decided not to upgrade at the time. So it's just like small things like that that can make your experience and not make the experience. So I just think about stuff like that when I'm traveling, and probably because I do it so often, I notice the smaller things. Like if I'm recording a video, I'm like, dang, I need to charge my phone. Never mind, I can't find an outlet. Right. So it's just small things like that.
And so it's something that I never paid. That's a big deal.
It is
something that I
never for sure.
I paid, because everything is a tablet, everything is a phone, everything is an iPad, everything is your laptop. Everything is convenience. I need it right there, right now.
Yes.
This is what I'm trying to do.
Yep.
I need it. And to have to try to find it and then worry about your ticket and worry about your luggage and then how much money did I spend and how much is this and then I'm about to eat some peanuts and then get more peanuts. So it's something that I never acknowledged before. I never paid attention to. So that just taught me something.
It's interesting. Like even for myself, flying Spirit for the first time, and I was like, dang, they ain't got no good food options over here.
So how about like if a flight get delayed? So you on a Spirit flight getting delayed versus a Delta flight getting delayed, or Southwest getting delayed, or
I think
I don't know another, but that would be considered a budget.
Frontier, Allegiant, Spirit.
And budget don't mean bad.
No, budget doesn't mean bad. It's just normally the ticket price point for the airlines. And like I said, most of the budget airlines is all what I want to say a la carte. So that's what I'm saying. You got to pay for your bags and you have to pay to get water or snacks or something on the plane. That's where that whole budget experience comes from versus the major airlines. And then it also has to do with where they fly and stuff like that. So it's a few things in the background that constitute as to why they do their budgeting versus their what's considered major airlines.
I remember you had in one of the other videos, you had a problem with something happened with your ticket, and maybe it was the timing, and then the lady went through all the hoops and hurdles to try to get you another ticket, and it was a whole vibe. Versus, have you had to experience that with a Frontier or a Spirit? Like,
yeah, so I think you're talking about when I was in Dallas and I missed my flight. Granted, I knew I was gonna miss my flight,
Which
y'all.
happens, though.
It does. It does happen a lot. I'm not me personally. I'll try to make sure I'm always on time for my flight. But it has happened to me in Dallas, and I was flying on Delta, and I walked up to the gate agent. Or not the gate agent, I'm sorry. I walked up to the ticket counter, and the customer service gentleman was amazing. Like, I was just real honest with him. Like, look, this is what happened. I am here now.
Yeah.
Can you help me? And he just appreciated my honesty, and he was like, let me see what we can do. Granted, I did have to sit in the airport all day, but I'm used to sitting in the airport.
For the experience, though, if you rather sit in the airport with it being like, oh, God, I don't have no charger. Well, I'm going to eat.
Yes.
Thirsty versus, oh, how are you?
Yeah.
How's things going? How you feeling? What's happening?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
So it is a difference in that aspect. So I've only missed that particular flight. Another customer service experience that I had, like, y'all know I go into the airport to buy my Spirit tickets. And I did have a not so great experience trying to buy tickets in the airport here in Cleveland with Spirit, just because I ran into probably like 2 bad agents. But it's like, I know what I'm getting because y'all face seem like y'all don't really want to be here right now, so y'all really not trying to help me. Y'all trying to get off work, and it's like, but you're here to serve your customer. This is customer service. So that's the only bad experience I can honestly say when it comes to that. And I've never missed another flight, so I can't really do a full comparison to that experience, but just off the strength of me having to go into the airport a couple times over to get service for buying tickets, I've had 2 bad experiences. Now there is this one lady there who always helped me out. Definitely appreciate her. She looks out, y'all. Like, I be like, look, this is what I'm trying to do. Can you help me out? And she is fantastic. So if you see my video, I definitely appreciate you because you be looking out. Some of your other team members don't be trying to help me, y'all. So definitely appreciate that. Yeah, so that's really like the major differences for me is the experience you get in the airport, the experience of being actually on a flight, and then that customer service piece, like the crew members and how they interact with you and stuff like that it's just a difference for real. And it just depends on if you're willing to pay for the customer service, the quality, the experience, or if you just want to get there.
So we don't have to, what would you say is like for the best option for somebody that maybe don't travel as often as you, but travels, still kind of on that budget, still want quality service, still want that customer service, still don't want to search for a charger station. Like, what's the, if I'm about to fly to Bali, what would you recommend me flying on with my family?
I would personally say it has to be one of the major airlines. One, for 2 reasons. So some of the budget airlines don't go that far.
Okay.
So some budget airlines only stay within like the states, or they'll fly to the islands such as Jamaica, Cancun, well, that's technically not an island, y'all, but Jamaica, Bahamas, they'll fly to Mexico, and a lot of them don't make it as far as Europe or as Asia or anything like that. So some of them don't go that far when it comes to like Frontier Spirit. So you might be able to, let's say, catch a Spirit flight to get to Florida or something like that, or get over to New York, and then you'll have to catch another airline to get you a little bit further.
Versus paying the one fee and I'm flying directly to Bali.
To your location.
Okay.
So that is something else. I'm glad you brought that up because all airlines don't fly everywhere.
That's another thing that now I gotta fly from Florida to Toledo to California to here, and then I'm getting to Bali in vacation.
Yep. So that is another thing is some of them don't fly everywhere that you need them to go, and you might only be able to get a certain distance, and then you have layovers, and then you gotta catch another aircraft or another airline. So it just depends on where you're trying to go. And y'all know I love me some Google Flights. So if you use Google Flights and you put in your destination and Spirit pops up as an option, and then sometimes it'll say like, this is the cheapest flight, you'll have a layover, but you gotta change airlines. And then it'll put you on a different airline and show you. But when that type of stuff happens, you are buying 2 separate tickets on 2 separate airlines. So these airlines aren't communicating.
Right. Okay.
So if your Spirit flight got delayed or got canceled, that second leg of you going from wherever to wherever,
another thing that you got.
They don't even know necessarily that you're not there because their systems aren't talking to that Spirit system. So for instance, if you was to fly Delta, I know they have partners as far as like KLM or Air France and stuff like that. And when you book a flight, if Delta themselves can't get you as far as you need to be, or it's cheaper to fly on one of their partners, then that situation, they'll know you're coming, right? So if I'm flying Delta and Spirit, they don't know I'm coming. Those are drastically 2 different companies. They're not partners in that sense. So their systems aren't talking. But if they're what I like to call like sister companies, they will know. So it's that cohesiveness of being able to tell that next airline like, hey, our flight got delayed, this passenger probably gonna miss your flight, and then that whole process of rebooking starts instantly with those airlines. Now if I'm on Delta and Spirit, I miss my Delta flight, Spirit gonna keep it pushing like, oh, she just ain't show up,
right, and that's it.
And that's it, versus being able to get rebooked instantaneously without even knowing that stuff is happening in the background. So that's the difference of.
That's a major one too, though. Seriously. Because now I missed this flight. Now I have to go and see and line up times.
It can be a lot if you are flying on 2 different sets. 2 different
or
airlines.
have to fly on 2 different airlines, whoever the case may be.
Because I just did that, y'all. I just did that in my Bahamas trip. So if y'all want to go back and look at that video, I did recently just do that exact same thing. I flew to Miami on Spirit, and then I flew to the Bahamas on Delta. And I had no issues. I did not have any like mishaps with my flights, but I knew if something was to happen, they wouldn't know.
Yeah, right.
Because I was on 2 different airlines to keep it in budget, of course.
Lighten me. You did, because I'm like, before we had that conversation, I was like, you know, considering taking like a family trip or whatever with us, and I'm like, all right, let's save money any way we can. It's not just a flight. It's not. And
it's a whole experience.
Definitely
a whole experience. Now, you mentioned like taking family trips and stuff like that. Depending on what the budget is, because a family of 4 can be expensive, right? Like, even if you just doing $200 for a round trip, you gotta do that times 4, right? Granted, you might get a carry-on luggage on Delta, so that can help with not having to worry about paying for luggage. Versus going on Spirit and you have to pay for luggage, because depending on how
all luggage, like they don't give you like a free like bag to.
Ain't nothing free. Not on Spirit. That's a a la carte company. You hear me?
Yes.
Nothing is free on Spirit. I won't even say the air is free, but you pay for everything on Spirit. So I'm kind of glad you brought up the family travel, because when I went to the Bahamas, I did go with family, and y'all know I went down there for a gymnastics competition for my favorite little person. So flying with them and my aunt, like I told them like, y'all, we just gonna kind of rough it out with the book bag situation. But her flying with 2 kids, it probably would have been better for her to pay for at least 1 luggage. One piece of luggage that went under the plane.
So all that stuff could probably fit in that particular.
And then they could have packed their quick items that they needed in the book bags. That way they had everything, and the book bags wasn't so overstuffed or whatever the case may be, because y'all know Spirit gonna make y'all put it in that little container and make sure it fit. And if it don't fit, they gonna charge y'all.
How big is the container?
It's not that big. It is not that big at all. is
They know
not big at
exactly
all.
what they're doing.
No, so that is one thing. If you do fly Spirit for a family trip, I don't see a problem with it. Short flights, if it was me, because short flights is like 2 hours, 3 at the max, but because the seats are not that comfortable. But I would suggest probably getting one big under the plane luggage, stuff all your stuff in there. Their weight limit is 40 pounds, which is less than major airlines. Major airlines is 50 pounds, so keep that in mind. But just pack all y'all stuff in one suitcase, and then whatever else y'all need, put it in a book bag and go. Because, like I said, bag fees are ridiculous in general.
Yeah, because if Marlon had 2 bags, if I have 2 bags, my son, Maya.
Yes, that's a lot.
Yeah, on top of this is just going.
This is just
We're not
getting
even
there.
at our destination yet. So
Just getting to the airport, you didn't pay, and that's a round trip, so it's like 35. Major airlines I know because I pay that, but it's $35 for your bag to fly each way, so that's $70 round trip just for your luggage to go.
Okay.
Under the plane.
Right. Okay.
And with Spirit, don't quote me on their prices. Definitely look on their website for their prices because they're a little bit different. Like I said, I know their weight limits for their bags is 10 pounds less than major airlines. But the bag fees alone be crazy. So yeah, you can fly Spirit. I am not on Spirit.
Right.
I fly them. I've flown probably a good portion of the airlines. Definitely that fly to Cleveland. Allegiant used to fly to Cleveland. Now they out of Akron, Canton. I've flown Spirit. I've flown Frontier, Southwest, Delta, United, American. Like I've flown all of those airlines.
It could go either way too. Like we don't have to fly first class, and we don't need to pay for the steak dinner, and we don't have to do all that. It could go both ways as far as your Spirit. Right.
Yeah, and I don't fly first class, baby. Not me. Y'all know I'm frugal. I'm so frugal, it's not even funny sometimes. I be like, I ain't paying for that. So I have never flown first class. I would love to experience that one day, but I ain't there yet. So, you do what's right for you.
Yeah, comfortability.
For sure. Whatever your budget is, like, this video wasn't to say go major, go budget.
It was just a difference. Yes. Which you definitely, because I was like, no, I'm not paying for this. I can get there the same way if I do this. So.
Yeah, it was just to show you that there is a difference between the two sets. And some of it might be reasonable for others. Some people like, I'm never flying on a budget airline. And you be like, you can fly on budget. Like if you need to get home or something like that.
You do what you have to do.
You get home.
Or like you say, locally within our United States. So
you got options. You have options. There's so many airlines, and depending on where you at, you even have more options than that. Those are just a few to name that I know I have access to. But I know New York, who do a lot of international flights because they have a larger airport. They have so many airlines that I haven't even heard of. Yeah, because we don't have them to fly to Cleveland, but they do. Even in Florida, like I'm like, who aircraft is that? I ain't never seen that aircraft. That's what they are, planes.
Yeah, that's funny though. But that's something that I never knew that. Of course, I thought that it was just Southwest here, Southwest there. But because they are a larger airport and they fly to many other destinations, right? Okay.
Yeah, they have so many more options that we definitely don't have because we aren't necessarily. Cleveland is considered an international airport. There is a few places you can go from here internationally.
And it directly take you to somewhere international. Okay.
So we are considered that. We just don't go to that many places. Like we got a brand new airline that now flies out of here. I'm gonna have to Google them, but I pop them up on the screen, and I know they are flying into Europe directly from Cleveland. Can't think of the name of the airline, but I'm gonna pop them up on the screen, y'all, and y'all can check them out if y'all in the Cleveland area for sure. So, all right, gorgeous people. As always, go out there, create memories that will last a lifetime.